Hello and welcome to Deep Dive. My guest is today Rajesh Jain, who is the Chief Operating Officer at RR Kabel. Mr. Jain, thank you very much for joining us today on ET Now. To start with, sir, you are in a sunrise sector which has immense potential, and the fact that the usage of cable and wires is going to grow multifold from here on. How do you look at the entire sector and the kind of growth potential that is there for this sector?
Well, sir, this is really a very good sector where we see huge growth opportunities in coming years. When we see like the way government is investing in infrastructure or the alternative energy, which is solar and wind energy, or in data center. So this is one of the very few sectors where the industry is expected to grow at 13 to 14%. And since now we are also in this field since so many years, and we are expecting to grow more than industry average.
Over the last few years, there has been a wider use of wire cable and wires. New sector has emerged, renewable being one of them. In the future, you have data centers which are coming in. Uh, how do you see your, the mix of the sector going forward? We were traditionally cable and wires were for households and industrial purposes, but now new sectors have come in. How is each of this sector growing? At what pace it is growing, and what kind of demand it is throwing up?
So overall, if we see a breakup of this industry among wire and cable, then wire contributes almost 35%, while cable is 65%. Cable have wide applications, and further when we see about infrastructure or renewable energy, data center, and even export opportunities. So it is expected that cable sector may grow more than wire sector. But overall, industry itself is one of very few sectors which are growing at double digit year on year, and it is expected to do so for next at least 4 or 5 years also.
Sir, one of the reports which I was reading was, said that by in FY25 the size of the cable and wire sector was around 90,000 odd crores, but in the next 5 years by 2030, it will cross 150,000 crores. Do you see that kind of potential coming in for this sector?
Yes, of course. When we do this calculation on 13% CAGR also, it will reach around 1,60,000 crore by 2030. So there are huge growth potential.
And is there a multiplier of GDP also attached to this sector?
Yes. So by thumb rule, it is said that whatever GDP growth we have, double of that this industry grows. So even if we expect India to grow at 7 to 7.5%, then this industry is expected to grow at 13 to 15%.
So the enormous demand which is coming in and the growth which you are projecting for this sector, it's also bringing in newer participants into this sector, bigger names, bigger industrial houses, and also with them competition as well. How do you see competition in this sector as we speak?
The competition in every industry is there, and competition was there, and it will remain there. Of course, new entrant, there may be competition intensity may increase, but at the same time, whosoever will do better in terms of their product quality, product innovations, or sales and marketing strategy, they will win. So it is always a target for us how we can remain in top of the big players, and we'll be like by focusing on our business strategy, we'll keep this group growth maintained in future also.
And how do you look at the entire opportunity with respect to competition? Does it bother you that there could be pricing pressure that can come in, or this industry is big enough and there are too many unorganized players in this industry that consolidation of market share is much easier to do?
Yeah, one thing, of course, almost 35% is still unorganized sector. So which we see that this may like reduce and may come to around 15%. So this will give another opportunity to all along with new players also, and to us also. And at the same time, as we said, there are multiple players, and it is not that only by price someone can gain the market share. It is about your market depth, about your distribution strength, and it depends on so many things. It is not about only pricing. So growth will opportunity will be for all players.
You projected that the sector will grow at double the GDP, 2 times the GDP. Uh, What is the kind of capex which is coming up in the industry? Are you also, as at RR Cable, are you also putting up a lot of capex to meet that increased demand?
Yes, we have announced to invest around 1,200 crores in 3 years, completing by FY28, and this may give us top line of around 4,500 crores at fully operational level. And of course, since we are expanding our cable capacity, so majority of the investment is coming in cable side of the business.
And you spoke about innovation and R&D as well here. New sectors are getting coming in here. Uh, what kind of innovation and R&D which is coming into this sector? And from a value add point of view and higher margin point of view, which segments are going to be the focus for many of the companies like you?
So if we talk about R&D, like we are very proud to say that we were like innovator, and we have introduced so many things in India since our beginning, and still we are the first and only company who has 100% REACH and ROHS compliant product, which is like good for environment and consumers also. So that growth and that journey towards innovation will keep continue. At the same time, yes, since we are small player in cable side, so our growth will be more focused on cable segment, which is 65% of the this industry size.
Is there also are you also looking at integrating backwards as well so that you can get into the entire value chain?
To some extent, it will be always backward integration in terms of compounding, or but not in copper, at least not now for copper, but it is for aluminum and PVC compound. We have done few backward integration also.
How are you looking at the entire commodity cycle, sir? Copper, aluminium, all of them are having a heyday. The prices are going up. How do you manage that kind of volatility and challenges?
So it's like a pass-on mechanism where based on your last 15, 20 days average, you have to keep on changing your sales prices and pass on to your consumers. And we are following the same. And it is not only upward, like we have seen downward cycles also, even in last 1 week itself, a very huge movement we have seen in copper and aluminum prices. So it is like our practice where we keep on selling on the average of last 15 to 20 days. So there may be some lag impact, but ultimately it will be passed on to our consumers.
Are you able to pass on the entire commodity inflation to the customers? And is there an elasticity to volumes as well? Means beyond the price, you start seeing impact on the volumes?
So normally we have seen whenever prices are moving upward side, then there is little bit increase due to stock by channel partners also. And if it is going downward, there may be some impact. But see, ultimately consumption is not going to change. What we think, whatever consumption is there in any industrial project or real estate project. So ultimate, and this is a very low cost item if you see on project level. So consumption, nobody will change just looking to the prices of the copper or aluminum. So consumption will remain there. There may be some impact on demand in short term for say 1 month, 2 months, but in longer terms, we have seen traction in demand as usual.
Do you see demand being it's being an essential part of construction and build up for capex? Demand can be pushed here, but not demand doesn't go away in that sense.
Yes.
How do you manage that kind of volatility, sir? Means, do you have hedging mechanisms to manage that kind of volatility with respect to prices? And the second thing is that how's competition in this market, given that everyone faces the same kind of commodity risk in terms of prices? What is the kind of competition in this segment?
So there are 2, 3 segments of our business. When I see export, which is like we have almost 30% revenue comes from export, where we have 100% back-to-back coverage mechanism, where whatever my customer is buying on, say, monthly average or daily CSP, we also keep buying on there. So there is no risk. Same way in B2C category, where like it is directly related to consumer prices, and you cannot change prices on daily basis. But at the same time, we keep buying on fortnightly average and selling also on the same pattern. So there may be some lag impacts if we are having inventory of 40, 45 days and price passing on mechanism maybe 20 days. So there may be some impact, but at least otherwise there will be passing on these prices. Even in B2B also, if there are long-term price using contract, then we have PV clause where prices keep changing on monthly average. So there way, in that sense, we are working and minimizing this material pricing movement risk.
Sir, you spoke about export opportunity there, and I was looking at some of the figures. In FY20, it was around 4,900 crores for the industry, which has gone up to nearly 14,500 by FY25. How do you see exports going forward? And do you think that the recent FTAs which we have signed with many of the countries, European Union being Middle East there, Australia, New Zealand, all these are going to be a good sign of expanding market for the Indian cable and wire?
So export is already a very big opportunity for Indian cable and wire industry. But at the same time, since we are the largest exporters, already we are exporting to more than 80 countries. So this gives us more leverage based on our past records. Also, we are having largest approvals in international market also. And our one of the biggest revenue area in export is Europe also. And what we have seen this treaty with European Union also. So this will also help. At the same time, already we were having a very good focus and we'll keep increasing our export sales also. So we are on track.
How sticky is customer relationship in this business, sir, domestically as well as in export market?
So in exports, our majority of the business is distribution-led business, and we are happy that every distributor is growing with us. And we have seen till that none of our customer has left us, and it's since there you have price transparency, so it is very on long-term basis. At the same time, in India also we have more than 6,000 dealer and distributors, and we have a very good relationship. And it is very important to expand any business.